Hello, folks, and welcome back to Rugby Ascendant. This is Chris in Central Pennsylvania. Well, South Africa Springbok coach Jacques Nienaber has announced his 23-man roster for the first test match against Wales at Loftus this Saturday, the 2nd of July. Yeah, well, 43-man roster trimmed down to 23. And Elton Jantjies' Damian Willemse will start at fly half and fullback in a very much overhauled Springbok team as this 2022 international test season gets underway with a sold-out game against Wales at Loftus. Man, that's something else. Sold out, pent up hunger and excitement to attend rugby matches after 2.5 years of oppression under the African National Congress. The restrictions against gatherings finally lifted, but not in time to allow for a full sold-out stadium for the URC final, the epic clash between the Stormers and the Bulls last week. Unfortunate, just a few days after they finally lift these nonsense restrictions, and now there's no restrictions on gatherings, so it's sold out. There are only 1,000 tickets left after a short time, and apparently those have all sold out now for Loftus. So folks, if you want to watch the game, you're not going to be able to go to Loftus unless you already have a ticket, or you can get one from a scalper. So your options are to watch on SuperSport, turn it on mute, and listen to Rugby Ascendant for my play-by-play and color commentary calling. Jacques Nienaber has made 7 changes to the starting lineup that left us all exasperated last November and letting England escape with that 27-26 result at Twickenham. Jantjies and Willemse take over from fly half Henri Pollard and fullback Willy Loouw. Now, Pollard was a late arrival at camp owing to his work in France with his club, but Willy has been benched. Now, while he's a great player and one of my all-time favorite performers for the Springboks, since the beginning of the 2019 Rugby World Cup, he's been a bit shaky. In fact, lots of memes are out there with, people handing him gloves the size of a bread basket with Butterfingers. But Willy will come off the bench, and that will not come as a shock to many Springbok supporters. Frans Malherbe comes in at tight head prop and Trevor Nkanye, replacing Trevor Nkanye. Franco Mostert and Jasper Wiese slot into the back row over Kwagga Smith and Duane Vermeulen. Now, Wiese gets this nod at number 8. That's not a surprise. He's a very talented, up-and-coming player. He's done very well playing in Europe, and not a surprise at all. Elrigh Loouw makes the 23-man roster, and this will thrill Bulls fans. Very excited about his inclusion. When Jacques Nienaber announced the 43-man roster 2 weeks ago, there was a fair amount of excitement at 8 uncapped players making the cut. Chief among those selections were the URC Player of the Year, Evan Roos, the Stormer, who just tore it up, Bulls captain Marcel Coetzee, and the Energizer Bunny, 35-year-old, soon-to-be 36-year-old Deon Fourie. But none of them made this 23-man roster. Now, that shouldn't come as a great shock. We expect to see all those players get playing time, perhaps against Wales, but certainly during the Rugby Championship against the All Blacks and Australia, most likely. There are a dozen games, hopefully at least 9 on the books right now, and maybe as many as 11 before the season's over to see these players get an opportunity to play. But Evan Roos definitely deserves a nod, as does Marcel Coetzee. And it's exciting to see Deon Fourie in his mid-30s finally become a Springbok to get that first cap. But it's not going to happen Saturday. Roos was URC Player of the Season. His season was unbelievably knockout, massive. He's also the Next Generation Player of the Season, the Fans Player of the Season, and the Players Player of the Season. He won all kinds of hardware for his performance. He played in 18 of the Stormers' 21 games, and he averaged 79 minutes a game. That's insane. His impact and consistent improvement ensured the national coaching leadership couldn't ignore him, despite the fact that they were ignoring him initially. Salmaan Moerat and Elrigh Loouw are the lone uncapped players who will be on the squad for Saturday. And the Stormers fans about Salmaan Moerat, and Bulls fans happy about Elrigh Loouw, both of whom come off the bench. And there's your lineup, folks. Let me just take a few comments about this particular lineup. I got to say that I'm pretty happy with that front row. Oxenche, Bongi-Mbonambi, and Malherbe do a fine job. The locks, excellent choices, Eben Etzebeth and Loouw de Jager when Loouw is healthy. Those two are a knockout combination. Sia Khaleesi is the captain. Franco Mostert. Jaco Wiese, once again, great choice there. Faf de Klerk at scrum half, no complaints there. Just please, Faf, let's not get into the box kicking game. That gets so boring. Elton Jantjies at fly half. We'll see how it goes, Elton. Marcus William Pimpy, Damon Dialende, and Lucanio Am. That's a great set of wings back there. Cheslin Colby, of course, always an exciting player, and man, can he hit. And Damian Willemse, another Stormer out there, coming in the number 15 jersey. Off the bench, the bomb squad, Malcolm Marks, Stephen Kitzel, Vincent Koch, Salmaan Moerat, Elrigh Loouw, Kwagga Smith, Herschel Yankees and Billy Leroux. As I mentioned, the two uncapped players out of this 23-day squad are Salmaan Moerat and Elrigh. It'd be exciting to see both of them get a chance to get their first cap wearing a Springboks jersey. Well, folks, that's the lineup for this week's contest, the first test. Now, a few years ago, in advance of the 2019 Rugby World Cup, South Africa came to the U.S. in Washington, D.C. in our vile, disgusting, dilapidated third world stadium, RFK, and played Wales, a game that I went to. A crowd of only about 25,000 showed up. It was a bit disappointing, and it rained. That wasn't fun either. And what was least fun was all the debutantes who got their initial caps, because Rossi was looking to see who had the talent. Now, he had a plan, and it worked. He won the World Cup, but we weren't the top-ranked squad at that time. Right now, South Africa is the top-ranked team, courtesy of someone helping defeat the All Blacks late in the season last year, because the Springboks sure didn't do it with their loss to England. But we're still the top-ranked team. And maintaining the top-ranked position, I think, is important to get off to a good season. So now is not the time to experiment. We see that with this selection. This is a squad based on talented, experienced players, most of whom played in the World Cup. So there you have it, folks. That's a good start. We'll see. This is the first of three-game series against Wales. Wales isn't predicted to have much of a chance. You look, they only won 4 of the last 12 international test matches. Not looking very strong for Wales, but they can surprise you. Wayne Pivack's boys do have some talent, and we'll see what they do. But my prediction is Springboks win this game rather handily at Loftus Versfeld in front of a sold-out Loftus Versfeld. Man, that's exciting, folks. Sold out Loftus Versfeld. Can you think about that? That's going to be incredible. After 2.5 years of nonsense, you're going to see big crowds. We saw 31,000, the maximum capacity permitted at DHL Stadium. And then for the Bulls and the Stormers, and then for the Currie Cup final, a sold-out capacity crowd to watch the Griquas unfortunately lose to the Pumas. Congratulations, Jimmy Stonehouse, the Pumas. There's your lineup for the Springboks versus Wales this Saturday. And you can catch the live color commentary and play-by-play right here on Rugby Ascendant, folks. Thanks a lot. Appreciate your support. Be sure to become a subscriber if you're not one already. And go Boks.